Hi, and thanks so much for joining me for the Chanel One Eye, One Cheek, One Lip. If you'd like to see that, please keep watching. And this camellia has a CC on it. I don't know if I noticed that before, but I've had a package before when I got my bag that had a camellia on it, but I don't recall that embossing. Oh, we have some samples in here again. Oh, good. Boy Chanel. And this is an accord of lavender and geranium, heightened with exquisite woody notes. We also have 1957. We have a micellar cleansing water. And then we have a Sublimage eye cream. And then I see we have a little camellia in here as well. Now for the eye, the cheek, and the lip. I'll be going through the Blurry series now. I already have a couple, but I haven't picked this up yet. It's 328 Blurry Mauve. And it looks quite neutral for a mauve, so I'm curious to see how this will look on. Then we have one of my favorite shades of blush by Chanel, and this is in the new formula, so we'll be comparing the new versus the old. 68 Rose Ecrin. Oh wow, even looks different. So I'll be curious to see that side by side myself. And then we have a Rouge Coco Bloom in 118 Radiant. I thought was a little bit light for me, but actually it looked okay. But I went ahead and just deepened the exterior. I didn't really bronze per se, but I used the lighter of the, no, that's not it. The lighter of the bronzing creams just for the exterior. So I didn't really bronze. I just tried to kind of keep to my skin tone, at least on the exterior. But I feel like B40 wasn't bad. Oh, I don't know if you noticed too, I know some people have been asking about radiant powders. Another option here is the Le Beige. I have mine in medium light, and it does have some particles in it. It's one of the more reflective of the powders that I have. In fact, I kept it away from my pores here because it will kind of emphasize them. But if you do want that radiance like you can see on my forehead, so I feel like this has more reflective quality than Gucci. Okay, let's go in with the Mauve Gray, no, what's it called? Blurry Mauve palette. Let's go in with the Blurry Mauve palette. And let's try putting, this shade all over the lid. I think in reality, I probably would just stick to these two, but for today's purpose, just so I can highlight all of them, or as many as I can, we're gonna put them all on. Okay, that has more pigment than I thought it would. So this to me looks like a mauve shade. This reminds me of the bedding I had in college. It was teal and mauve. Okay, let's go ahead with this color right here in the corner. I don't know how this is gonna look. Not quite sure how to approach this one, but let's try. So it's like a purpley gray shade. Okay, actually that's really pretty. It's deeper than I thought it would be. Really nice. Oh wow. Let's take a little bit of this shade just because I want to see what it looks like on. It's like that burgundy shade. I'm gonna just place it right next to this. Just for a hint of that color. I feel like that's a good fall color. And then let's take, I want to see what they all look like on. I'm really curious about this shade right here. They feel really creamy. Okay, wow, this can get dramatic quickly, can't it? Pretty though. I'm gonna take a bit of this color underneath and a bit of this color underneath as well, the shimmery color right on the exterior. It's really intense, that color. I wonder if I could use it as an eyeshadow, not eyeshadow, an eyeliner. Let's try. Yeah, it's a lot deeper than it appears in the pan. I think I'll tightline with Cassis, actually. That's a pretty one. Taking the Blurry Mauve 6.5. Blend that out. Let's take a bit of this shimmery powder here. And then I'm gonna blend this part of my, just right up here. Then maybe you can see a little bit more of the finish as well. You can see that it has that reflective quality. Just a blend. So go ahead and tightline with Cassis, mascara. I'll do the other eye, of course. And then we've got to compare these two blushes. New 68 versus old 68. I'm gonna go in the waterline with the, I always get this wrong, the eyeshadow liner Kohl in number 12 Contour Clar. So you can see it just cancels out a little bit of the red. Very subtle, but makes a big difference. It's a very light taupe shade. So I thought it went really well with this because there were some gray tones in here. Let's go in with the blushes. I feel really low here. Okay, let's go in with the blushes. We've got the, which one is this? This is the old versus the new. So let me just swatch these. So here I have them swatched. This is the original versus the new shade. So you can see there is a difference, and it looks like the newer shade is deeper as well as more like a raspberry tone, and this one looks a little bit warmer on appearance. They look different. The new one looks lighter in the pan. Let's try them on though. So let's go in with the new one over here. My brushes are exactly the same. I have the Blurry Mauve Kabuki. Actually, these are the mini Kabukis. Okay, so new blush on this side. Let's just do this for now because then we can see the color kind of concentrated. So this is the new. Versus the original. I feel like the undertones are a little bit different. So new, original, new, original. Oh, maybe we should do this. Maybe I'll put the new one here and then let's put the original next to it. New, original. I mean, I feel like though, if I'm looking this long, it's not that different. I don't know. But yeah, the undertones look just slightly different. But let's see, let's go in with this new version all over the cheek now and see how this works. I mean, as long as it does well in the front, I'm good. So let's see. Okay, so that's the new, and it seems to be okay in the front. It does have like a glow to it though, as I don't recall in the original, but let's see. I think that's the difference. Okay, so there's the difference. I feel like that might be the main difference I'm noticing, is that this has more of a glow to it than the original, which is what I liked about the original, is it was more matte. But I have to say, it also looks a little bit smoother here. So I don't know. Yeah, this seems to have like a cooler, more glowy kind of finish versus this. Less glowy, less cool. But again, this looks more smooth, so I don't know. Interesting. But there's definitely more of like a bluish hue coming off of the reflective quality of this. Let me turn my head. And maybe, I don't know if you can see it as well there, but I can definitely see it here. And this seems a little bit warmer. So let's look at the original versus the, oh, okay. Doesn't this look warmer, a little bit warmer compared to the new? Let's go over this side now that we've seen the original versus the new. Yeah, they're a little bit different. And I don't know if that slight variation is going to change my mind, because I do like a little bit of warmth. I don't know. Let's see. Let's even everything up, and I'm going to add it on this side. Yeah, do you see how it adds a little bit more of that cool sheen to it? Not sure about that one yet, but I hope that you were able to see the difference in case you were wondering. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of the blur powder and just stamp it on here. That was interesting though, because I feel like I see more texture here than here. Strange. Okay, then let's go in with the lip. So we have here 118 Radiant in the Rouge Coco Bloom. Those apply so smoothly. Ooh, that's really pretty. I like that one a lot. Okay, thought we could pair one of the fragrances with this. Let's try the 1957, because I feel like this is quite a classic look from Chanel. Even though I feel like the that beautiful color, this burgundy-ish shade, it's like a burgundy plum. I feel like that's really appropriate for fall, but I feel like this smoky part could be actually done at any time of the year. In fact, I was trying to look up some glowy summer looks, and I noticed that a lot of them, especially if you have coloring like me, have a grayish tone to the eye, while everything else is kind of bronzed up. And the lip is actually like a pink shade, but the skin is what's glowy. So I'm gonna try and do something like that. So maybe I'll use that palette, but I also think it is appropriate for the summer months, depending on what kind of look you're going for. I love these testers. I have a few of them now. They're so cute, but I think it gives you enough that you can try it and also travel if you end up really liking that scent. Take it with you. A quart of white musk, delicately fashioned with floral notes of bergamot. I love that. Iris, which I think is a really clean, kind of greenish scent. Neroli, again, another thing that I love. Woody notes of cedar, powdery accents, and a hint of honey. A luminous scent, a statement to the timeless style of Chanel. Okay, so once it's settled in, I smell the iris. I feel like that is a really strong note in here, as well as the powder. So powder is not necessarily my favorite unless it's a little bit softer, as long as it's not overpowering. This one I think needs to settle in a little bit before you actually can get all of the scents, because as it's settling in, it's changing a little bit and it's softening up, because I think immediately on it's very sharp. I want to say it's got a sharpness to it initially. So just letting it settle in is going to take away that, and I think it softens with the powder. Yeah, iris. If you love the iris note, that is really coming through. Very, very classic. And I can really pick up that cedar. So initially this wouldn't seem like something I would like, but the longer it's on my skin, the better it's smelling. So I'm gonna continue to wear this one throughout the day. There are a couple of Chanel fragrances I have my eye on. I'd like to pick up a full-size one. The newest one, the Edinburgh one, that is beautiful. So that one's in the lead, and that's definitely more masculine, more woodsy, but this one's really pretty. This is like a softer take on that masculine cedar scent. Yeah, I really like the iris. That makes it very, very fresh. Now I have been collecting the blurry palettes without even realizing it. So I do have this now, Blurry Mauve. I now have, I think I just need one more. I think I need Blurry Blue, maybe? I'm thinking of doing this, and let me know what you think, where I am gonna go back and do a look with Blurry Gray, because I kind of forgot about it. Blurry Green, which I love, but I thought I would pair them with some of the new formulation of the blushes and compare them to existing ones that I have. So I hope that helped with number 68. I don't know, it does look different to me. It does appear cooler, and I don't know if it's just in my mind, or let me know if you've tried them both, but that might be the thing that would knock it out of like a staple of mine from Chanel, because I really liked the original formula. It just had a bit more warmth, although I do also like that it kind of smooths everything somehow. I don't know how I did that, but I feel like the finish was, it improved the appearance of my skin, which is kind of like that Clé de Peau blush that I really like. So back to the palette. So we've got Blurry Mauve now, Blurry Green, Blurry Gray. So let me know what you think of the idea of revisiting these two and then comparing some blushes and of course getting a new lip. Let me swatch these for you side by side. I feel like their compositions are so different from each other. Like Blurry Green has almost everything has shimmer in here. Then you have Blurry Gray, which has more reflective shadows in there. And then you have Blurry Mauve, which just has the one. So these are set up quite differently, and they all look really different to me. So yeah, Blurry Blue is all really I have left in terms of a new blurry palette. Yeah, I'm loving this perfume though. You have to like the iris scent to like it, because I feel like that's coming through quite strong, as well as the bergamot now. So the bergamot is starting to come out, that citrusy scent. And then the powder's kind of faded away, so it's not nearly as strong as it was when I first applied it, which I like, because I don't really love, like, sweet and powdery are the things that I don't really love. But I liked this Blurry Mauve palette. Since I am loving more cool toned palettes, this definitely is pulling more cool toned on me, especially because of the way I used it. Of course, you can bring these shades out more if you want, but even this here was quite cool. And then really it's just this that kind of makes it more fall-like. Although that might be really interesting in the fall to kind of pair these two together. I'd love to see that. But I wanted to keep it kind of neutral, classic. Everything worked really nicely, really easy to blend, nothing in here that was difficult to work with. I thought that the number 12 in this works really well in the waterline with this. In case you have any redness you want to cancel out. I love using that anyway, but I thought it worked exceptionally well with this. The blush, again, I'm gonna have to use it and see, but I feel like here you can even see the difference in the blushes. And then the lip, I really like this lip. Just a pretty lip, I really like it. I feel like this is quite a neutral lip for me. But that is it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.